Hey everyone, if you're new here, my name's Lottie, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back to my channel. Last month, I posted a video all about my Kindle, and you guys really seemed to like that video, so I wanted to make another video about my Kindle today. I'm going to be sharing a bunch of my favorite settings and kind of hidden features that you may not know about. This is by no means a comprehensive list of all of the settings. These are just a few of my favorites that I think make a big difference with your reading experience. And actually, the reason I decided to make this video is because I was hanging at the pool with my friend Abigail, and we were both reading on our Kindles, and I looked at her Kindle and I was like, hold on, there are some settings I need to put on here for you. And so I made a few of the changes that I'm going to share with you guys today, and she ended up being really pleased with all of the changes that I made. So she told me like a week or two later, you should make a video on all the things you did in my Kindle because it's so much better. So just think of this as your best friend helping you set up your Kindle. The first setting that I always turn on my friends and family's Kindles is the time. I think it's so nice to be able to see the time at the top of the screen on your Kindle. Sometimes curiosity gets the best of me and I pick up my phone to check the time, and then I get lost in my notifications and social media and I end up scrolling and I'm like, oh my gosh, I literally just picked my phone up to check the time and all of a sudden it's been like 10 minutes. So having the time turned on my Kindle, I feel like really helps me stay focused with reading, because it's really easy also to get lost in a book and totally forget that you needed to be somewhere. And the setting is often looked over or people don't know about it because it's actually kind of hidden in a weird spot on your Kindle. It's not in the traditional settings area of your Kindle. So what you're going to do is click on the page on your Kindle and then click on the AA icon to open up your formatting. Then you'll toggle over to more and then turn on show clock while reading. So then you should see the clock at the top of your screen. And this is just such a lifesaver. I love having this on. So definitely make sure to turn yours on and see if you like it. Okay, the next tip that I have is turning on your book covers so that they can be your lock screen on your Kindle. I think this is so fun to be able to see what book you're reading. Of course, you may want to hide this for whatever reason, but I really like being able to see what book I'm reading on the cover of my Kindle. So to do this, you're going to go to your Kindle settings, then click screen and brightness, and then you'll just turn on show covers on lock screen. That way, when you lock your Kindle, you'll see the cover of the book you're reading. Of course, it is in black and white, so you don't get the full color effect, but it's just really nice to be able to see the cover of the book you're reading. I'm also more like drawn in to pick up my Kindle because something in my brain is like, oh yeah, that's the book I'm reading. Let me pick it up and read it, when it's like on my bedside table or on the coffee table, versus when it's just like a generic lock screen. I'm just like, oh yeah, reading as a concept feels different than like reading this book specifically. Does that make sense? And I just like being able to see the cover. I think it's a nice feature to enable, so I wanted to share that one too. I do want to mention about the covers on your lock screen. When you buy a Kindle, you can buy it with ads or without ads, which feels extremely dystopian and like late stage capitalism is girl boss a little too close to the sun. So if you have the Kindle with ad supported, you get like book recommendations on your home screen of like things to buy next. It's basically just Amazon trying to sell you more books. So you don't get ads like in the middle of the book while you're reading, but you don't get to choose what's on your lock screen. The Kindles that have ads supported are $20 less than the Kindles that do not have ads. But if you buy a Kindle that has ads, you can always pay the $20 later to get them removed. Or you can try to contact Amazon customer support and say, pretty please take my ads away for free. And I've heard that they will do that sometimes. So maybe it just depends on if you get like a nice customer service rep that day or not, but it's worth a shot if you want to get them removed. So wanted to give that extra bit of information about how the lock screen works. Okay, tip 3 is honestly a really simple one, but it's one that I only started using recently. And I don't know how I went so long without using it. So a lot of you probably know how to customize the look of your page, the look of your fonts, the size of your font. And I always knew that it was an option to make the back of my page a darker color to give that dark mode effect. But personally for me, I use on my iPhone the setting where it changes with the sunset. So I really like how my phone adjusts, and at night it's in dark mode and during the day it's in light mode. So I would love for Kindle to come out with a setting that's similar to that at some point, but it's not one that's automatic at this point. So in the past, I just kept my Kindle in light mode all the time because if I have to pick one or the other, that usually is my preference. But if you want to quickly switch your Kindle into dark mode, you actually don't have to open the entire layout settings. You can actually just quickly click from the top of the Kindle and then tap dark mode, and it'll flip over to the dark side. And then in the morning, you can always open that tab back up click it again, and it'll go back to your normal settings. So I really like this ability to quickly flip back and forth between the two. I know it's a simple one, but it really makes all the difference. I feel like my brain just didn't even compute that that was an option for a while, and I didn't want to deal with having to like do the customization of the page every time I wanted to go into dark mode. My ADHD just like forgot it existed for a while, so I just want to remind you guys that it's there because I really like that one. Okay, tip 4 is about scheduling your warmth settings on your Kindle. I think this one's only available to Kindle Paperwhite, Oasis, and Scribe users. So if you have the Kindle Basic, I don't think you can do this, but I really love being able to use the warm light on my Kindle. This feature helps reduce eye strain, especially at night. So that's where the scheduling of it all comes in. To schedule your warm light, you go to all settings, screen and brightness, brightness and warmth, and then you can turn on a warmth schedule. You can do it automatically where the warmth will change automatically with the sunset and sunrise. And basically you can just set exactly how much warmth you want to add to the screen during that time. I honestly hardly ever think about this setting. I'm not changing it often, but I do notice it at night when I'm reading. The Kindle really adjusts into that warm, golden, orangey yellow glow, much more than that like stark paper white color. And it's just a lot softer on your eyes as you're trying to wind down for bed. This is one where you can just kind of set it and forget it, and it's nice to know. Tip number 5 is one that I have just recently gotten into as well, and that is the vocab builder. Essentially, if you're reading a book and you highlight a word and look at the definition, Kindle will log that you highlighted that word and put it into your vocab builder. You can access your vocabulary builder by clicking on the page, clicking the 3 dots in the top right of the page, and then clicking on vocabulary builder. This is just such a cool feature because it really helps you learn new words while you read, and that's something that I think is an added bonus of being a reader, is exposing yourself to new vocabulary words and expanding your vocabulary. And then once you are looking at your vocabulary builder, you can also click on a word and decide if you want to delete it because it was an accident that you didn't mean to add to your vocab library. Or if it's a word that you have started using and learning enough, you can click mastered and it'll go into a different list of your mastered vocab words. This is just so cool, and the Kindle also offers a flashcard setting where you can flip through all of your vocab words like flashcards and refresh your memory on some of the words that you're trying to learn. I really love this setting. I think it's really cool. I think a lot of us know that, of course, you can look up words in the dictionary on your Kindle, and that integration is super helpful to just stay focused on your reading. But a lot of times I want to go back and make sure I didn't just learn it in the moment, and I want to make sure it's something I could incorporate into my vocab. So this is just a really cool feature. Okay, tip number 6 that I have is filters on your Kindle. And I don't mean like visual filters like what you would add to a photo, more so the kind of filter like when you're going to sort and filter a list. So to access your filters, you click on the adjustment button on the top left of your library. And here you can separate out your ebooks, and you can just see the books that you have downloaded to your Kindle. So if you've offloaded books or finished reading them, you can filter to a view where you don't see those. You also can separate out your Kindle books by read and unread. So a lot of times I will filter to just my unread books that I have downloaded to my Kindle. I like to download a lot of Kindle Unlimited books as I see them. And so I have a lot of unread Kindle Unlimited books in my library. So it's nice to filter for unread so I could just kind of browse through what I have available on my Kindle at the moment. And speaking of Kindle Unlimited, I can also filter to just see the Kindle Unlimited books I have on my Kindle as well. So lots of helpful different filters that are available to you so that you can view the items in your library in a way that's easy for you to find what you're looking for. And to go hand in hand with filters, on the top right, there is also a way to sort your library. So you can sort by title, author, publication date. So within the filtering, I can also sort and organize them in a way that makes sense to me. Tip number 7 kind of builds off of keeping your Kindle library organized, and that's using collections. This is a really cool feature on the Kindle that I didn't find out about until somewhat recently as well. And this is basically the ability to create little mini folders that are customized that include books that you designate to those collections. So if you wanted to create a collection with all of your 5-star reads, you could do that. If you wanted to create a collection with your fall TBR, you could do that. Lots of fun ideas and options for how you could kind of customize some of your views. Then once you create your collection, you can see it in your library with your other books. And this is just another nice way to organize your Kindle library. Tip number 8 is to turn on your page turn animations. This small change makes turning your pages feel more smooth and more realistic. It's just kind of an easy no-brainer one that is great to enable. This one's also a little bit hidden because it is in your page formatting settings, not in your entire device settings. So to access this, you'll click on your page of your book and then click on the AA formatting button. Switch over to the More tab, scroll down, and then turn on page turn animation. Now when you turn your Kindle page, it has a little bit more of like a wipe effect from right to left or left to right, whether you are turning the page forward or backwards. So it also helps you get more grounded in which way you're turning the page, because without that animation, it looks the same. So I think this is worth turning on, and it just kind of makes it feel more like a normal book. The next tip is a really simple one, but it's actually one that I stumbled upon accidentally. And that is a really quick and easy way to change the font size on your Kindle. You may already know this one because it is very straightforward, but it's a really nice hack to be able to play with the different sizes of the Kindle font to see what you're most comfortable with. I find myself wanting to change my font size pretty regularly, which is not very common, I know, but something to consider is that when your brain is tired, so if I'm reading late at night and I'm really sleepy, sometimes I'll make the font pretty big so that it's easier for my brain to kind of just like get through the page and quickly read the larger font. And then if I'm reading in the morning or during the day at some point, I'll make the font a little bit smaller. So a quick hack to adjust the font size is you just use like a zoom gesture on the screen, like the same kind of gesture you use if you're zooming in on a photo on your phone. And that will make the font size bigger. And then you just kind of reverse that with the zoom out gesture to make the font size smaller. So that's just a quick and easy hack. Change the font size without having to access your settings and deal with reconfiguring it. And my last tip for you guys today, if you ever wanted to read your Kindle sideways, you actually can do that. If you just wanted to switch things up, landscape mode gives you a fresh new way to read your Kindle on its side. All you have to do is click on the page and then click on the formatting button again, the AA, toggle over to layout, and then on orientation, you just click the button that has the landscape orientation, and now your book is available to read sideways. This is a really cool hack if you just want to mix up your reading habits. I find I mostly prefer to read in portrait orientation just because that most mimics the experience of a traditional book. But if you're trying to convert from being like an iPad reader or something and you're used to reading in a landscape orientation, this is a really nice option as well. And those are all of my quick Kindle tips for you guys today. I hope you learned something new. Like I said, I know these are not all of the cool hidden Kindle settings that are out there, but I just wanted to highlight some of my most used and favorite ones that I find super helpful. If you're looking for more Kindle content from me, I did recently publish a video all about my Kindle, so definitely check that one out as well. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below with the light bulb emoji to represent all that we learned today. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here. I would love to have you join so you don't miss a video from me. That's going to be it for today's video, but I hope to see you soon in my next one. Bye everyone.